If you listen to spring planning, you might be scooching this one up a little bit to align a little more with the equinox, because this spring festival is kind of how we celebrate the coming of Lady Spring and the spring equinox. This is a star turning week. So this is where we're going to turn our star to green. Hooray! Spring is finally here. So we're going to turn our seasonal star. You can do the Seasons Come, Seasons Go dance and song that's on the September album or early in the autumn album. And I always like to sing a little kind of more reverent verse while I turn the star. So for spring, I would be turning my star and singing, seasons come and seasons go, with our star we turn to show, the winter king has gone away, Lady Spring is here today. Yay! So turn our star, celebration. And again, if you're familiar with our curriculum, you'll know, or if you watch spring planning, you'll know that we tend to culminate our kind of festival day on day 3 of our curriculum. So if you're just joining, I would probably wait to turn the star on day 3 when we have our snacks done. That's when the celebration culminates and we turn our star and welcome the new season. And it's always a sweet day. All right, so Spring Festival Week, we are going to start off with our story, The Spring Ball. This is a lovely story, and there's some funny parts and also just some lovely festivities that are really lovely. So the Spring Ball is how the gnomes and fairies are honoring and celebrating the coming of Lady Spring and the beginning of springtime. So the Spring Ball is how they celebrate, and so in the first part of our story, Hamilton hears Lady Spring's song and the fairies singing Lady Spring's song. And then they begin to prepare for the spring ball. And Hamilton, of course, still new to Wondergarten, has never attended a ball. He's never really danced. And so Thumbkin has a little dance lesson with Hamilton, Morrison, and Rudabug. And it's kind of funny because Rudabug and Morrison are, big clunky men, and Thumbkin is teaching them all how to waltz. So we have the song Waltz With Me, and Thumbkin is teaching them how to waltz so that they can properly waltz with the fairies for the spring ball. We have a funny little story about what had happened in previous years when Rudabug stumbled. So we have a dance lesson, which is also fun for children to kind of learn the steps of a waltz. And then, of course, we end with the spring ball, and one of my favorite songs of spring, Spring Has Come. Beautiful, all of them dancing and singing together, and it's just a beautiful way to honor the coming of spring. Nathaniel says, based on true events, yes. When Nathaniel lived in Japan, he did teach other Marines how to dance. So he was teaching other men on their own how to dance. So this is based on true events. I have a few chat boxes here that I want to catch up on. Living in Wisconsin, March can sometimes be snowy. So yes, you might have to tie in Snow Queen and Lady Spring might still be friends. In Florida, we don't have seasons. Of course, you'll have to adapt as you need to seasons if you're still in a cold area, if you're already in a warm area. But it always is fun to still honor the seasons wherever you live. So we have 3 songs this week. So as I mentioned, pick your fave, pick which one you want to focus on in circle time. Of course, you can enjoy all of these songs all week long, but for our circle time, we want to reduce to first verse of one song. I love to do I think it's in our circle time section. If you go back to the circle time section for spring circle time, the Lady Spring Wake Up Flowers game is one of my favorite circle games. So you use the Lady Spring song, and if you have even a few siblings or a little group, you can have one child be Lady Spring, get a bunch of colorful play silks, and the children can just hide and be asleep under their colorful play silks. And then Lady Spring comes to wake up the flowers, and she'll tap each one, and then they get up and they dance together, and then they repeat and all the flowers go back to sleep, and then another child gets to be Lady Spring, and it's a really, really sweet circle game. So this week I usually always do the Wake Up Flowers Lady Spring circle game. You sing and play that song kind of just on repeat, and it's a really simple one, but children love it because they love to just be the little flowers and wait to feel Lady Spring tap them and then get up, and of course they all love taking turns being Lady Spring, waking up the flowers. So it's a really, really sweet one, really fun one to do with a group of children if you can. Then of course, Waltz With Me is a fun one to just get children kind of, learning how to dance simply. And then Spring Has Come is just beautiful. It's one of my faves. It's so beautiful. So we just get to welcome spring. All right. So you'll see we have a little bit of a different organization here. Let me see. Am I day one? Yeah. We are going to start our week with a craft because it is a 2-day thing. So usually we'd start off our week with kind of a simple modeling activity, but we're diving right into a craft here because it needs time to dry and assemble the next day. So we are going to be, Josiah, could you grab that little pot, the little pot of flowers? I should have grabbed that before. I'm going to show you how to make these little paper cherry blossoms. They are lovely. They're one of Nathaniel's favorite craft actually because they look so beautiful. Thank you so much. These are just lovely. So we're making these little beautiful paper cherry blossoms. And this again is a 2-part activity. The first part of the activity can be very child friendly. The second part is a little more adult centered. So again, I love when we can create something with our children. Everything doesn't have to be fully child independent for it to be nourishing for the child. So this is one that you can work with your child to create something that you both can enjoy. They're so pretty. They last, of course, all season. So it feels like you can just get cherry blossoms all year round. They're so pretty. So you'll see our first steps here. And the first day, your end goal is this little stack of tissue paper. So you'll take some tissue paper, cut out a little shape of cherry blossoms. I do have some tips on how you can cut that out, again, in bulk. So we have lots here. And then we have a stack of tissue paper, and you get to just use your red mixed, like diluted watercolor. And if you just do a dot in the middle, the color will just kind of begin to spread and it'll soak through. You can flip it over and do both sides, but you just want a little bit of that red to just go through. And of course, then it'll become this beautiful pink and you have still a little bit of white on the ends, and it's just really lovely. So the children can really enjoy this part because they can just paint and it just goes, and it's really, really lovely. And then you're gonna set this aside for day 2. So this is step 1. I'm gonna go ahead and just finish this part here so you can see how it comes together. The second step is going to be your day 2 morning activity where you pull this together to create this beautiful thing. But I'm just gonna finish this activity so you can really see how it comes together, and then I'll go on with the other activities. So part 1 of the paper cherry blossoms is you make this little cherry blossom shape. Get your watercolor and get that there. And then part 2, now this is kind of the trickier part. So the way you want to get these on here is you're going to take your kind of fabric or wrapped floral wires, what I have here. I use this for a lot of things, all right? So you're gonna take some, here's my end. You're gonna take some floral wire, and this is gonna become one of your branches, all right? Then you're gonna take one of these little sheets, and you can use your pinky or you can use a little child's finger, and you're gonna put it over the top and just pinch it down, okay? So we're kind of just doing this to the flower, boop, and then you're gonna take this like this and pinch it and begin to kind of twist and pinch the end. So what you want, now we can switch top down here, what you want is this little pinched end here that you can grab, okay? And at first you're just gonna keep your petals all like this and just kind of twist so you have a nice kind of grabbing point for your wire. Then we're gonna take this wire and we are just going to do a fold. So we're gonna put it over and just fold it over and pinch that. Okay, so you can see how that just pinched that end and now it's already pretty secure. Then we're gonna fold it over again and pinch again. And we're just gonna repeat until this feels pretty secure, and then you can start to really try to wrap it around if you can. But the trick is to do those 2 kind of flat folds and pinches to get that really secure on there. And then of course you can continue to wrap it around as many times as you're able to really get that secure, all right? And of course that just came off. So they do come off easily, so let me show you that again. The more you pinch, and you might wanna start even further. So I'll do that again to make it hopefully a little more secure this time. Fold it and just pinch it flat, just like that, and then pinch it over again. And then you can repeat a few times, and then there you go. Then the final step is you're gonna turn it and you're gonna gently just begin to open up your petals, find those petals, and really then kind of find your flower. And this kind of takes a little bit of care and takes a little time to just open up. So here's a little petal that I'm gonna open up here and just kind of fluff it. And then as you repeat, you can beautifully weave these together. So Nathaniel did this, of course, and it's stunning. So you can see here how these are woven together. I'm not sure. Oh. Top down. Okay, I'll do it this way. How these are woven together, so you can weave together and kind of twist together a few strands of these, and then take a twisted strand into another twisted strand to really create a beautiful branch. So you'll want to repeat this a few times on each individual little stem, and then once you get another one, you can twist those together. I thought I had, do I have one more here? No, I thought I had another one. Anyways, so start with one, do a few more, and then when you twist them together is really when you get this beautiful, beautiful branch, beautiful tree. So yes, I'm not surprised Nathaniel did this. Clusters of 3 or 4, says Nathaniel, if you want to get it to look like this. So the trick is get that shape, get that little point, and fold that over, and then you'll get your little cherry blossoms. They're lovely. All right, any questions on that? I know there's a few tricky little things there. Hopefully I didn't ramble too much, but they're lovely. All right, so that is split into 2 activities, your morning activity of day 1 and day 2. All right, then our main lesson, we're back to day 1. So main lesson for day 1 is flower potting. So head to the garden store, get whatever flowers you can. I do love doing actually like bulbed flowers instead of cut flowers. So daffodils, crocuses, things that you can pot or plant in directly in the garden, depending again on your zone. In where we live, and for our little classroom, I would put them in little pots and then send them home with the kids to then plant in their own gardens. So if your choice, if you want to put them in pots, or you could put them directly in your gardens, but get the kids planting flowers to some degree as you're able, depending on what you have around in your area. Of course, everyone's gonna have different flowers available in every different climate. So use what you have. And then of course, that second day is finishing our cherry blossoms. And there's kind of those same instructions there. And then our baking, we're doing these lemon raspberry scones. These are lovely. They kind of end up looking like little spots of pink flowers in your scones, and they're just really, really yummy. If you liked the orange scones of winter, you'll love these as well. They're super yummy. So scones can be a little trickier, a little more challenging of a baking day, but it is worth it. Get one of those pastry blenders and work in your butter and bring them together. A trick is you do want to keep your butter cold. So if your kid, especially with kids, sometimes the butter can get overworked. That's okay, but just expect that they might kind of spread a little more. I would suggest chilling your scones before you put them in the oven, but otherwise they're a really, really delicious one. You have a lot of different things you can, they can zest their lemons, they can juice their lemons. The raspberries are best frozen, so you can get frozen raspberries, or you can just get raspberries and then freeze them, because that helps keep the whole thing cold, keep your butter cold, keep everything cold. So frozen raspberries are definitely recommended. If you can't find pre-frozen, you can freeze them yourself. So just a little note in your planning, prep ahead. And then we are going to finish with beeswax crayons for our morning lesson here, very simple. And then we're doing cherry blossom paintings. This is one that you might want to just do a little bit of prep. I like to use a brown block crayon to just create a little trunk for them, and then some diluted red paint or some pink paint if you have it, and they can just create little cherry blossom trees. And of course, then this is the day that we're turning our star, we're having our scones, and we're kind of also having a little spring festival to honor the coming of spring and the cherry blossoms and the beginning of our season.